Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Rolex Oysterquartz Day-Date. You can see this reference 19018 in 18-karat yellow gold on our website, watchyouwant.com. Purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the right-hand corner of this video to go straight to our listing for this watch with prices and photos. Now, on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters, you can see that the Oysterquartz Day-Date, like its companion, the Oysterquartz Datejust, very much represents a product of its era, a period in which cushion cases with integrated bracelets, bold bezels, and almost a bracelet-like coherence to them were the flagships of the luxury watch resistance. And I say the luxury watch resistance because this was an era when cheap quartz was emerging, often confusing the line between premium quartz, premium mechanical watches, and rote utility pieces that often came out of the Far East at accessible prices, but with little love or soul. This watch is the exact opposite of that. While it is a quartz, this is a machine with soul, with a conventional escapement, 11 jewels, and beautifully finished internals. This is the opposite of the quartz you've grown up to know. And you can see on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters, it's a wonderful fit, 42 millimeters from lug to lug. This will fit securely on any wrist, but because the visual extension of the case comes about as a result of the tapered bracelet, it's very hard to read this watch as 36 millimeters. Visually, it reads like a 40, maybe even a 41. Now, the 36, because it's not a round case, represents the diagonal effectively from 9 o'clock to immediately adjacent to the crown. It's far larger. It's also 12 millimeters thick, so it's got a little bit of physical substance, but with a nicely sloped fluted bezel, it is easy for a dress cuff to ride up and over this watch. This is a watch that can play both ways. It can get wet, it can also be your dress reference. And in a lot of ways, it is the quintessential dress reference, featuring many of the aesthetic characteristics of a dress bracelet rather than a timepiece. The beautifully integrated bracelet, like the case itself, is in 18-karat gold. It does have contrasting finish, polished down the center links, brushed on the tops of the flanking links, and polished on the flanks of those links. Rolex manages to break up the mass of yellow gold, giving it contrast in spite of the monometallic status. And it's paired with a very high-grade 18-karat clasp. Now, this one is a veteran. The bracelet and the case have been refinished. You can see the crown clasp featuring the crown logo is worn down a little bit from refinishing over the years, but what has not suffered is the security of the clasp, which remains very secure. It actually has tremendous substance to it. Internally, it feels completely unrefinished. It closes securely, and it closes and stays that way. Now, the watch itself has surprising heft. These were large cases, and compared to a 36 millimeter conventional Oyster Perpetual Day-Date or an Oyster Perpetual Datejust in 36 millimeters, these Oysterquartzes do feel quite a bit heavier on the wrist, so you never forget you're wearing a premium product. Now, inside that fluted bezel, you do see a remarkable light Tritium Patina champagne dial. Now, it has a golden champagne sunburst pattern radiating out from the cannon pinion at center. All of the indices, as well as the hands at center, are 18-karat yellow gold, as well as the 5-point Rolex coronet at 12. You do have matching metallic gold day and date discs visible. Now, this watch, like the conventional Oyster Perpetual Day-Date of the period, late 70s, is a single quickset model, meaning that the caliber 5055 has a quick adjuster for the date at 3 o'clock, and you cycle the day manually. Now, it does feature many of the refinements of a conventional mechanical watch, but before I get to those, I do want to call attention to the Tritium Patina, where it is and what it is on this watch. Now, the tritium dials, featuring half-lives of approximately 12.5 years, have, since 1980-1979, when this watch was built, essentially faded to a golden tone that's beautifully complementary. You can see the loomed elements of the hands at center, as well as the elements outboard of the hour indices and inboard of the railroad-style minute and seconds track. It almost perfectly matches the golden tone of the dial, and it really creates a beautiful accent to the composition. Now, that movement. How about that movement? Chronometer rated, it's one of the few thermocompensated quartz chronometers to come out of the 1970s. In fact, this entire type, the quartz chronometer, remains exceedingly rare even to this day. Now, Rolex only built approximately 25,000 Oysterquartz Datejusts and Day-Dates between 1977 and approximately 2001. The vast majority of those were in fact the Datejusts. So to encounter an Oysterquartz Day-Date is a rarity in any case. Think about today when Rolex builds approximately 1 million watches a year, that Of those 25,000 over a quarter of a century, even the minority of that output was the date. We're looking at a seriously rare watch, and it's got the bona fides inside. The watch has an 11 jewel movement with a conventional pallet and escape wheel. That's the reason why the watch essentially steps without any kind of stagger or rebound. Each individual break, the 1 Hertz oscillation, represents a single step of the electronic stepper motor, metering its power out through a conventional escapement, which is why this watch does have to be worked on by a traditional skilled watchmaker. It's also the reason why, for the most part, these Oysterquartz movements, when maintained properly and serviced regularly, can outlast any electronic device you've likely ever encountered in your life. This is not the lifespan of a phone. This is not the lifespan of an Apple Watch. This is an intergenerational heirloom quality product. Moreover, Rolex services it as such. Now, if you want to talk accuracy, it's very much a Rolex. Thermocompensated, it also features hacking seconds such that when you pull the crown out, you do hack that conventional escapement, allowing precise synchronization to a reference time. And once synchronized, this watch is designed ideally to lose no more than 24 seconds per year and gain no more than 60. That blows any mechanical chronometer absolutely out of the water. And like I said, inside, at a glance, you would swear this is a mechanical movement. It's a watch with a lot of soul, an unusual story. This one is in good condition, but it's very much a daily driver. This is the watch you can wear and have the one that no one else has. A Rolex to the core, it's designed to last. And sure enough, built in 1979, maybe 1980, this 6.2 million serial range certainly has. You can see this Oysterquartz date, 36 millimeters in yellow gold, reference 19018 on our website, watchyouwant.com.